Good evening, everybody. Welcome into Plymouth White Marsh High School, the site of tonight's District 12 quarterfinal matchup between the Explorers of LaSalle and the Crusaders of Father Judge. Bob Long, Rob Stott alongside, bringing you this one live here on BLS with Mara Long as our camera person. Very excited to have the whole team along this evening for what should be a great matchup. Rob, the Explorers 4-5 on the year. Father Judge 2-7. Not the regular season campaigns that probably either was looking for, but that's the beauty of the playoffs. It all resets, and tonight it's an opportunity to get to the semifinals, which will be next weekend.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Two teams that come into this one, ready to go. It is the playoffs. It's like a new season. So as you said, the schedule is basically reset, and it's a chance to make a whole new impression. And that's what both of these teams are looking to do tonight. And we'll see how it ends up.
Jack Isdell will kick it deep for Father Judge. For the Explorers, Liam Kennedy, number 28, back deep to receive along with Brad Vespi. Father Judge dressed in the white uniforms with the blue pants, and the Explorers in the gold helmets with the navy blue tops and the gold pants. Almost ready for football here. It'll be LaSalle getting the ball first.
Feels like there's a Jim Morrow joke in there somewhere, just waiting to happen. But we'll let it slide for now.
Isdell approaches, and we are underway. Angled towards Kennedy, who dropped it. It goes into the end zone, and in high school rules, that is a touchback, so fortunate there. As Kennedy mishandled it on what will be a slick night here, Rob. The rain fell on what's a very balmy evening, has a tropical feel, as it's about 70 degrees outside at 2 minutes after 7 p.m. in Plymouth, Pennsylvania. But a little bit of rain, and we expect that for most of the night. Yeah,
coming down throughout the night. It's a little warm, unseasonal weather. So we'll see how that does impact the game. Ball's certainly going to be slick. Imagine a lot of ground game tonight. So we'll see how the weather dictates play calling throughout the evening.
Yeah, Sean Daly on this very field last week against Roman Catholic completed only 4 passes in what was a 12-point win for the Explorers. And it's going to be an illegal motion call coming back as Sam Brown got the handoff. You saw Liam Tatlingari, Rob, in motion, just confused there, and that's going to be the call.
Yeah, not how you want to have your first play of the game go. Getting it a little yellow laundry on the field already, which we saw was also a problem last week for LaSalle. Any drive they tried to get going got derailed if a flag got thrown. So already the first drive of the game, first play of the game, coming out with that illegal shift, and not the start you want if you're LaSalle.
The beauty of the playoffs, Rob, in part, is that you see on the top right-hand side of your screen, just to the left of our scoreboard, the number 25. That is, of course, the play clock, but not a luxury that high school teams often have at their field. But for the PIAA playoffs, they're stepping it up, putting that on the field, and teams will know very, very easily if there's a delay of game at hand or not. Here's the give right up the middle. Sam Brown cuts to the outside. He's to the 40, out to the 50-yard line as he bowls over a defender. A big gain there, almost 30 yards.
That was a nice hole open up on the left side of the line for Brown to run through. And that's something last week, we talked to LaSalle coaches, and we knew that Brown was someone that they like to get out in motion, get him going on those jet sweeps left and right, and try to get his momentum going forward. But that was a situation where they just let him go downhill, something we expect to see more of, and, turns up well there on first down and long for the Explorers.
Brown again, this time on the delay, gets inside the 40-yard line to the 35. A 16-yard gain for the Explorer back and a first down.
Same play, just all over again, and the Explorers again got the hold that they needed for Brown. Just a nice little cutback for Brown, who picks up another first down for the Explorers. And all of a sudden, despite that flag on the first play of the game, the Explorers 2 straight Brown runs, and they are in business.
Sam Brown had his biggest game of the season earlier this year against Father Judge, 128 yards on 5 carries and 3 scores. Now here's a shovel pass to Tatlingari. Tatlingari is going to have enough for the first down as he stumbles his way inside the 25.
That was Daly had a bevy of options there. He could have optioned right, decided to hold on to it a little longer and option it off to Tatlingari, who looked like he stumbled for about 10 yards there and basically picked up the first down. Just a way to keep his balance and stay up on that run.
Clock ticks, 10:42 to play here in the first quarter. Still scoreless in a District 12 quarterfinal. Here's the give. Brown taken down there. What a play in the backfield. 2 Crusaders get in the backfield, led by number 75, Liam Mulgrave.
That was just a nice job by Father Judge getting through the line. You saw Brown a couple of runs in a row, and you're starting to look for that. So Explorers trying to go back to the well one more time, and that time Judge was just able to stop it and keep Brown from even getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Loss of 2 there brings up 2nd and 12. Explorers once again under center here, and it's Sam Brown, the deep back. Toss sweep. Tatlingari out ahead and blocking, and he'll scoot forward. That's a nice gain, Rob, as it seemed like the edge was going to close up pretty quickly, but he took off downhill and got about 8 or 9.
And that's the beauty of having a back like Brown, who is quick. We've seen throughout the season, like we said, him get out in motion and get the ball while he's running. And this is just more of a traditional offense, being given the ball to run up through the tackles. That time it was a little, traditional kind of not jet sweep, but a toss to Brown, and just able to use his athleticism to pick up a lot of positive yards there for the Explorers.
Rob, no safety on the far side, and Khalil Diarra is all by himself. And we're not going to get that look, though, as Father Judge jumps on the hard count from Daly.
And so that is Daly, just showing his now veteran abilities as a quarterback here for the Explorers. Has the majority of the starts here at this point of the season for LaSalle, and that is just some veteran experience using the hard count to pick up the first down.
First down and 10 from the 11. Hand off to Brown. Brown scoots through 2 defenders and gets about 3. Inside the 10 to the 8.
Something tells me that they worked on vision this week with Brown, trying to get him to run in between tackles, find holes, show a little patience. And he's been able to do that on this first drive for the Explorers, and just another positive run for LaSalle. And it's nice to see Brown sort of get this traditional look as a running back rather than sort of a gadget that how LaSalle's been using him throughout the year.
Clock ticking, 8 minutes, 30 seconds to play. The give is to Tatlingari into the end zone. Touchdown, LaSalle on the fullback dive.
That was, again, nice blocking up front by the Explorers, but maybe that time Brown's a little bit of a decoy there, Bob. Father Judge waiting for him to get the ball. See Brown run out to the right on that play, kind of take the defensive eyes away from the line of scrimmage, and Tatlingari gets the ball. Just pounds it right up the middle for the first score of this game.
Jake Gandolfo kicks it up and good. 7-0 Explorers lead. Just a few minutes into this football game, it's a 7-0 lead for the Explorers. We'll take a quick break and come back on the other side. You are watching LaSalle College High School football right here on BLS.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
7-0 Explorers lead as Gandolfo pitches one high in the air. It's going to take a hop. Ball's live, and LaSalle has it. What a play there. Dylan Traynor comes up with it. A perfect kick from Gandolfo. A little backspin on the green there, right into the hands of Dylan Traynor.
Not often you see a 30-yard onside kick, but that was just nice placement of the ball by Gandolfo right in between any of the receiving potential receiving Crusaders, and just checks up perfectly for LaSalle, and just well done. I don't know what else you could say about that one.
So now a real chance to put the hammer down early. They get the ball in great field position. at the Father Judge 33-yard line. Brad Vespi, the deep back. He will take the give right up the middle. Vespi has a few yards, gets inside the 30 to the 29, a gain of 4 for Vespi, the junior.
And that's a name we haven't called since the first game of the season, Bob. Brad Vespi making his, I guess, re-debut in the playoffs here for the Explorers. Nice to see him get the ball. A guy that we've been following the last couple of years has grown a little bit. But, you know, obviously having a chance in the playoffs here to make a statement for these Explorers.
Sean Daly in the shotgun, 3-receiver set. Again, a delay give, and Sam Brown will walk into the end zone. 24-yard run from Sam Brown, a little misdirection, all you needed, and that edge sealed well by the offensive line of the Explorers. It's 13-0, just like that.
Basically the same play for LaSalle that worked the 2 long runs on the first drive just a few minutes ago, and now you see it work again, and just a quick strike by LaSalle, and all of a sudden, you know, 13-0, you're talking about a game. LaSalle really jumping out on the Father Judge Crusaders here early.
Jake Gandolfo's kick is up and good, and it is 14-0 just like that. Explorers lead over Father Judge. One more break, and we'll be back here again on BLS. Well, just like that, Rob, it is 14-0 Explorers, and Father Judge set to get the ball for the first time, but they'll try it again. This time, Father Judge is going to come get it. They drop the football. LaSalle has it again. Inside the 20-yard line. Well, in high school, they're going to dial it back to the 30. Upon the point of recovery, you can't advance it, but LaSalle gets the football once again on the other side of midfield, and Father Judge still hasn't touched it offensively.
Wow, this is just, I mean, you could say, you want to blame it on the weather. It's certainly going to have a factor or play a factor in this game, and that's just twice now that you've seen special teams really come up big for LaSalle. That time, Father Judge got their hands on the ball, just unable to secure it, and next thing you know, this offense is back out again onto the field.
Well, why do anything different? This time, it's Abdul Carter out there. Carter takes the handoff. He takes off at the 30, makes one miss, and gets back inside the 20-yard line. That'll be close to a first down, but we'll give him a gain of 9. Abdul Carter back wearing number 22, Rob.
Keeping us on our toes here at the end of the season is Abdul Carter. You know, just another look, though, just a different weapon getting the ball for LaSalle. And, I mean, if it's not Brown, if it's not Vespi, if it's not Tatlangari, it'll be Abdul Carter. And, you know, next drive, maybe someone else.
The give once again is to Carter. He'll bounce to the outside. Got to make one miss, and does. Gets a block from Tiara and gets to the pylon. They mark him down inside the 1-yard line.
Wow, strong run by Carter. Getting up to the line, seeing a defender in his face, and just making a move to bounce it to the outside, take that ball up, and just put on the Jets. Just another offensive weapon here for LaSalle that just putting his athleticism and speed on display here early in this first playoff game for the Explorers.
Clock stopped at 7:23 now. It ticks once again under 7:20 to play in this first quarter. Carter dives for the end zone, and once again, inside the 1 for the second straight down. So Father Judge steps up on that defensive play, and the Explorers will go back to work inside the 1 for second and goal.
Yeah, just a situation. Judge likely up front, tough to tell from back here, but likely got the push up front that they needed to ensure that the offensive line couldn't create a hole, or Abdul Carter, I think, is back there that couldn't jump over that line.
Daly now tries. He was stopped at first blush. Now he pushes for the end zone. No signal from the officials. And now there is a signal. It'll be third down inside the 1. Goal to go.
Really a big play here for Father Judge. Early in this game that you don't want LaSalle to put 3 straight touchdowns up on you before your offense has even gotten the ball. So this is a huge goal line stand for them, and so far they're doing the job.
Well, they'll have to have a huge goal line stand against a huge man. Khalil Diarra on the field, Sean Daly off.
And this is a look we've seen from the Explorers over the last few weeks as they've put Diarra more in this wildcat look, getting their big offensive weapon, typically seen on the outside, catching the ball.
And a timeout called by the LaSalle Explorers with 6:12 to play in the first quarter. So it's been a picture-perfect start for the Explorers so far. The offense has delivered every time. Now Father Judge trying to get a big stop here, Rob, and like you said, it's one that they need at this point. All the momentum clearly on LaSalle's side, and do need a little something if you're a Crusader to get back into this one.
Yeah, need something to feel a little good. I mean, those 2 special teams mishaps aren't going to have you feeling anything, both in the first quarter, sort of really putting you behind, not giving your offense a chance at all yet to get onto the field. So this is a big chance to have something positive come out of this game.
High formation, Gavin Daly in there, a quarterback. He'll give it to Tatlangari. Tatlangari pushes into the end zone. Touchdown, LaSalle.
And that's just using a big bruising back, letting those offensive linemen go to work in the trenches, and can't get it once, can't get it twice, not the third time. Why not push it in? Just let them go to work. And all of a sudden, 20-0 LaSalle here halfway through the first quarter.
6:08 left in the quarter. Gandolfo getting work early. That kick is up and good, and it is 21-0 LaSalle. After not even 6 minutes of play. One more break. Again, we are BLS covering LaSalle College High School football, and it's 21-0 Explorers.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
Okay, Rob, so the Explorers lead 21-0. Gandolfo steps back from the ball, and the Explorers have successfully recovered 2 kickoffs. Now here's the third. They'll do the same. It's coming down at about the 30, and it's fair caught at the 27-yard line by number 10, Shane Dooley. We're going to see Shane Dooley a lot tonight, as he is the quarterback of the Crusaders, a guy who's had a great year so far. He has 15 touchdowns thrown on 1,500 yards passing, almost 100 completions on the year. He's also the second leading rusher with 511 yards on the ground. So we're going to see a heavy dose of Dooley here tonight.
Yeah, kind of a real tool for Father Judge that their offense has really run through. Obviously, quarterback, any offense is going to run through the quarterback, but has been sort of the cog that makes this thing go for Father Judge. So we'll see how LaSalle handles that throughout the evening.
And there's a high snap. It's back inside the 5. Dooley comes up with it and now runs up the field, thinks about getting rid of it, and is taken down for a huge sack.
Well, not the first offensive snap you want to see if you're Father Judge after the way this one started, but nice job by Dooley to go back there and get it. Nearly was able to break free and at least get some pick some of those yards back up. But well done in pursuit by the LaSalle defense, and they keep them for a big loss on first down.
5:30 to play. Clock ticks. Nothing going right thus far for the Crusaders. And he loses the football, gets it back, and will be taken down for a sack.
Just another bad snap, it looked like. Maybe could be something with the weather at this point. Who knows? Tough to really get a good look. They're rubbing that football off for sure. As the rain is coming down here. Hard to tell on the telecast, but if you look at the lights here, it's coming pretty steadily. So certainly could be an issue with the ball, but just a nice job again by Dooley to not give it up.
So now they need to get out to the 38-yard line for a first down. Seven on the play clock, 4:30 and counting in the first quarter. This time they get the snap off Dooley up the middle, and Dooley gets about 10 yards out to the 19. Fourth down now, and Father Judge will have to punt. Now you put a long snapper that's had some problems here early on in a position where he's got to get it 10 yards back down the field to a punter who then has to handle it and get it off.
Yeah, I mean, 2 out of 3 snaps so far have not been good, so we'll see. Be interesting to see how this punt goes.
Blaze Arnold back deep to receive. That punt's online, and he gets the punt off, and it is a pretty good one. Caught there by Hardy. Hardy takes off up the field, gets inside the 50, and flags come raining.
Special team flags are likely to be something on the Explorers here. Holding, blocking the back. We'll see, but, nice job by Hardy to secure the ball in this weather. I feel like you can only talk about weather so much, but certainly, those types of plays, the special teams plays, as we've seen, this kind of weather, rain can have an impact, and for Hardy to cleanly catch that ball is a big deal, here early in the first quarter.
It is a big deal, and that rain that you're talking about, I think, is why the Explorers have stuck with that ground game. That and the advantage that they have up front, clearly. I mean, they have athletes in Sam Brown and Abdul Carter, and you're seeing Sam Brown in particular have a huge game already, and a guy that in a game like this, in weather like this, on a field like this, is not a guy that anybody wants to tackle right about now. And here is the give to Carter, taken down after a gain of 4. It didn't seem like he got much there, Rob, but he got almost halfway the way he needed to get for a first down.
It's crazy. I mean, that's just nice work up front by the line, creating holes for him to run through, and just speed and athleticism to get through the hole and pick up positive yardage and hold on to it. I mean, you talk about, again, keeping the ball secure in conditions like this, and when you have guys ripping at it, it's going to be tough to keep a hold of it tonight, so we'll see how that impact is.
Great pursuit in the backfield. Getting off blocks and into the backfield for the tackle. Dennis Cranston, the junior linebacker at 5'9", $191.
Yeah, just nice job getting off of his block and getting into the backfield and just breaking that up. It's been a lot of positive for LaSalle so far with the run game, and for Father Judge, seeing something like that it's going to make you feel good. And
there's nothing like a high schooler wearing a neck guard. You gotta love Dennis Cranston out there, number 40.
Man,
that thing is protruding. Like Danny from the Replacements. Here's a screen pass. Hardy gets close to the first down marker. Going to be about 2 or 3 yards short. LaSalle's going to get its first fourth down, and they'll decide to punt. So nice job by Father Judge. Backs against the wall. The last 2 times out, there was really nothing their defense could do. They were set up in a very bad spot, but this time the defense comes out and gets 3 and out.
Yeah, nice job by them. You've been basically run all over the first 3 drives of this game, and this time you come up and force them 3 and out.
Gandolfo's first punt of the night goes off the side of his foot, takes a decent LaSalle hop, and is touched up at the 31-yard line.
Nice clean play by the end of it for the Explorers and Gandolfo. Basically flipping the field here. And a chance for a bit of an offensive reset for Father Judge. You know, you had the couple of mishaps on the snaps and on their first drive, so we'll see if they come out a little cleaner here. Maybe worked on that, the sideline a little bit, the exchanges, while they had a few minutes.
First time out, LaSalle 55-20 winner over Father Judge. Judge followed that game up with a win over Roman Catholic, earned themselves the 3 seed here. And now another bobbled snap. Dooley's going to take off up the field, and this is a nice run. Up past the 50 and to the 45-yard line of LaSalle. So perhaps that little bobble took the Explorers out of their lanes, and Dooley very aggressively getting towards first down marker and then further up the field.
Yeah, just a nice job of, you know, not getting too flustered. You know, you easily can have that happen in a situation like that where you're bobbling the football, but you know, certainly maybe worked out in his favor, like you said, Bob. Able to throw off the timing of the Explorers' defense, and Dooley turns what could have been a disastrous play into a really positive one.
That time the snap is off, and Kitab Joseph gets up the field for a gain of 3. Joseph's had a tremendous year. First time we've called his name. His next carry, Rob, will be his 100th carry of the year, so certainly a nice workload there, and he's racked up nearly 600 yards.
Yeah, and if it's not Dooley, it's Joseph, and those two really have combined to carry this Judge offense. And you know, if you're going to target 2 guys as the Explorers, you know, if you are the Explorers, those are the 2 in the backfield there that you want to keep an eye on all night.
2nd down and 7, under 1 minute to play here in the first frame. Dooley in the shotgun, fires to the outside, it's deflected and caught. Caught for a gain of about 5, taken down by Jordan Heaton on the play.
That was a nice job by Abdul Carter to get out. You know, he had a good rush going on, but a nice job to recognize that the pass was coming out. Got his hands up, just wasn't able to get enough of that ball to knock it completely down. And just great concentration there, too, by the Father Judge receiver to pull that one in.
Dan Foy's 20th catch of the year. He's racked up now 330 yards on the season. 3rd down and 3, under 10 seconds to play. They have their choice whether to get this off. Play clock is higher than the game clock. Down to 2, and they do just get the snap off. Dooley rolls on 3rd down, now turns the other way and fires it, and out of the hands. It was almost complete on the sideline. Had to be a one-handed catch attempt for Darrell Tripline, but unable to catch it.
No, I mean, didn't look pretty, but Dooley, that's just a great job to get that ball out to his receiver. He had pursuit coming from every which way, and just, you know, a real athletic play to even be able to get that ball in a position where his receiver could almost come up and make a catch.
End of the first quarter here at Plymouth Whitemarsh High School, 21-0 LaSalle. In this portion of today's game, brought to you by our partners at Dunphy Ford.
I would say that LaSalle is dynamic. Prepared. Active. Diverse. Brotherhood. Family.
Welcome back, everybody. Second quarter underway here from Plymouth Whitemarsh High School. It's 4th down, and the offense is on the field, and that should be false start against Kitab Joseph in the backfield of Father Judge.
Almost looked like they were perfectly in sync, but you know that certainly is Joseph moving early and pulling those defenders off sides. Oh, but they called the offsides.
Tough call there.
Wow. That looked very bang-bang, so.
Tough call, because as soon as Joseph moves, that's when the flag comes. The Explorers have to get up the field and into the neutral zone, which inherently takes a little bit of time versus the instantaneous movement that should draw the false start. First down and 10 for the Crusaders. And now they fake the give. Dooley's up the middle. And Dooley takes off for the end zone. Touchdown, Father Judge. They're on the board.
And that flag, go back to it. It's going to be a big one to remember if you're the Explorers. You give up the first down on penalty yards, and next play, just a nice job by Dooley to hold that ball long enough in Joseph's stomach to draw the defenders in and tuck it, take off, and put 6 on the board for Father Judge.
Heady play by that outside receiver too, Rob. That was very close, and it's one of those where if the hands get a little bit further outside to the pads, maybe it's a hold. You keep it inside those shoulder pads right by the edge of the numbers, and sometimes that you get away with it, and they did that time. It's a great play. Ooh. And now the Explorers take off with the football, but it's ruled dead. Can't take it back for a safety in high school.
Would have been a fun play to see. But just another situation. Snaps have not been, a strong suit tonight for Father Judge, and similar story there.
We got ourselves some scoring here tonight, Rob. 21-6. Very beginning stages of the second quarter. It's a fun one here in the rain on Friday night.
Point happy again. Not what you'd expect to see in this kind of weather. So certainly going against the typical nature of a muddy, messy, well, not necessarily muddy because we got a turf field down there. So rubbery, got rubber sticking to you tonight.
There you go.
Wouldn't expect to see a lot of points, but that is not the case tonight.
All right, now Father Judge has their opportunity to kick it deep to the Explorers if they so choose. See if they have any tricks up their sleeve. We've seen enough on the kicking game of both sides so far tonight.
Never know what can happen. So it could go for a similar sort of pop-up situation.
Instead, they launch it deep, and it's Vespi back there to get it. Vespi from the 6 up to the 20. And slithers through to the 28-yard line. It'll be a first down for the Explorers. The offense back onto the field.
Said Vespi grew up a little bit, but he still has that, smaller physique as opposed to other football players on this team, and able to use it there to squeak through a couple of would-be tacklers and get out past the 25, close to the 30.
$11:48 to play, second quarter.
Let's get it back, fellas. Come on, let's get it back.
Sean Daly in the shotgun. The handoff is to Sam Brown, number 27. He sneaks behind those tents out of bounds, right by the first down marker. I had the angle. I think he got there.
LaSalle doing us no favors with the tents tonight, but I guess they don't want to get their guys a little wet. This rain standing on the sidelines, maybe some equipment over there, but just a nice run by Brown. Looked like he was bottled up there on the inside, just able to bounce it out and get the edge and pick up the first down.
First down just inside the 39-yard line. They give once again. Oh, no, he kept the football. That looked like a broken play there, Rob, where Daly didn't expect to have it at the end of it.
Yeah, you could tell Daly was trying to jump and almost, really stretch out to get that ball to Brown. And Brown, I don't know if he didn't think he was taking the ball. Daly thought he was going to give it off to Brown, and that was just a real broken-up play.
A guy in Brown who hasn't taken a ton of snaps from that deep tailback position so far this year. Of course, Daly, a guy who didn't start the year as quarterback and had to come in midway through. Perhaps a little bit of chemistry issues on that one. Here's a shovel pass. Liam Tatlingar this time. Father Judge sniffs it out well. Gain of about 1. It'll be third down and 15.
Now, there's been a lot of touchdowns, so excuse me if I'm forgetting, but I think it was the second touchdown that Talengari got the little hand.
Right.
Second touchdown drive, the Talengari got a similar situation where it was that little shovel pass on the inside. That time, though, Father Judge does sniff it out and able to wrap him up for close to no gain there. So nice job by them on defense staying home and wrapping the ball carrier up.
Actually, now that you say that, I think it was the third. Wasn't it, to make it 21-0?
Possibly. That's what I mean. There's too many touchdowns so far already.
3. Too many. 3rd and 15. Daly tucks it, and he'll have to scoot out of bounds. Obviously well short of that first down marker. He needed 15. So Father Judge, they stayed in their lanes. They didn't commit. They didn't give Sean Daly a lane to run and covered downfield. And just like that, they have an opportunity to get the football back after being down 21 points before they touched the football. And now they could get it back to a one-score game.
So all of a sudden what was a big drive for the Explorers offense doesn't go their way. Now you put your defense in a spot where they're going to be in a situation where they have to.
That's a booming kick from Jake Gandolfo. Takes the returner back inside the 15-yard, inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. It was caught by Shane McGovern there. It was a nice over-the-shoulder catch. We've seen a lot easier, seemingly, go awry. And that time in the rain, he pulls it up. A little bit of a Willie Mays-style catch.
Like a lot like that. We just got done watching the World Series, so a lot like that famous catch over his shoulder, like you said, Bob. And now you can really see. I think it's coming through on the telecast. The rain is just pouring buckets right now on this field, so it'll be interesting to see how that impacts this drive, coming down the hardest it has all game.
Here's the give. Kitab Joseph couldn't get through the first line of defense. It'll be a gain of 1 up the middle.
Nice job by the Explorers staying home, not letting Father Judge open up that hole for Joseph. I'm really mesmerized by this rain. It's kind of fun to watch it coming down from the lights. So apologies if the color commentating is a little off.
Yeah, you got to apologize to the listeners on that one. Apology not accepted.
It's the playoffs. We should be all these kinks should be worked out by now.
Because it's the Cup.
And it's not like we haven't seen rain this year.
That's true. North Penn. That was an experience, I tell you what. 2nd down. They fake the motion. Now they're going to go with the screen, and they have a blocker upfield. It's Kitab Joseph. Joseph makes one miss, now spins, but into more tacklers. Ends up being a gain of 3, maybe 4. It'll be 3rd down and 5 upcoming.
That was a nice job of both sides, really. Father Judge for Joseph being able to get out, find a little room, and catch that ball in these conditions, and then LaSalle in their pursuit to not let Joseph wriggle free and get more than just a couple of yards there.
3rd down and 5. The rain lightens maybe ever so slightly. Dooley and Joseph in the backfield. 4 receivers. Dooley fires across the middle, and a one-handed catch attempt could not be brought in that time by Foy. 4th down and 5, and decision time, it would appear. Dooley wants to stay out on the field. They're going to bring the punt unit out.
Dooley on the punt unit?
Yeah, there you go. He's blocking.
Doing a little bit of everything tonight.
Yes, sir.
I feel like we're calling an AFL game.
Blaze Arnold will kick it deep. Arnold fires his accessory towards the end zone.
He didn't need that anyway.
He'll get it. Ooh. Gets that kick off. Should take a good hop, and it does. Father Judge is going to be the beneficiary of a tremendous punt.
Didn't look pretty off the foot, but that took quite the hop. It's a nice job to get that one off before it was blocked. And then ultimately takes a real nice, 20-yard hop, essentially, for Father Judge.
It's a 43-yard punt that time from number 14, Blaze Arnold. And that's going to be important today, Rob. I mean, both teams punting the football. If this game remains close, it's Field position is going to be very important. Jake Gandolfo booms one deep, and Arnold follows suit.
A big chance for this offense. A couple of drives now, they've been stopped. So it's if you need an answer somehow, you got to get something positive here.
Father Judge just bull rushing the Explorers. Number 50, Mike Waring, the 6-foot, 271-pound junior, into the backfield. They say, Rob, you're going to go with these delays? Listen, we're just going to attack and hope that we get there before you change directions.
Yeah, and Judge has been doing. I mean, they've been doing it well the last couple of drives here. You know, they're starting to feel a little confident up front. They've been holding the Explorers to minimal, or pushing them backwards, really. You know, the last few rushing attempts, and not going LaSalle's way right now on offense.
Here's the give. Abdul Carter taken down again in the backfield. This is the loss of 1, and Father Judge defense stepping up. Give him a little bit of field behind him, and they get comfortable and start attacking the quarterback.
So we go and talk about how this has been an offensive showing for both sides, and then next thing you know, it's been just 3 and outs or not sustaining long drives and no scoring since we made that comment. So maybe they're trying to teach us a lesson to not.
It's not always what it seems. 6 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. 21-6 LaSalle leads. Daly is under center. Here's a toss sweep for Abdul Carter. Blocking in front. He's got a wide lane inside the 40, and he's gone. Abdul Carter puts some scoring on the board again. It's 27-6 LaSalle.
And then as soon as I comment on there being no scoring, what does Abdul Carter do but go ahead and take the ball 70-some yards into the end zone, and that was just a gorgeously run play by LaSalle. Nice job of getting that pitch out, catching the ball from Carter, and just, finding his lane and going.
It's a really good play call that time by Joe Wade, understanding that Father Judge was pushing those guys up the middle and trying to take that delay away. Well, toss it to the outside, pull that guard, get some blocking down the field, and let your athlete take off. It's a really good play call. Gandolfo, the kick is up and good, and it's 28-6. LaSalle gets the response that they were looking for and pads the lead to 22.
The other thing I like about that is something I'll have to keep an eye on to see if this is how they like to run it all the time, or most of the time, a majority of the time. That pitch was to Diarra's side. You got a giant, big man out there as wide receiver, and if you're going to run a pitch any direction, why not run it his way, where he's likely overmatching whoever he's matched up against, and just letting him drive his guy. I mean, he drove him. You saw it was like all the way down to the plus 40 side over here. Obviously stretching the field with him on a streak and getting him out of the play, and then going to work and blocking, and just a well-done job by Diarra there on that play as well.
As he came into the screen of our viewers, it's almost like you want him to let go.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
By that point, Abdul Carter was gone, and the only thing that can come from that is something bad in the form of a hold or something like that. Now, he kept his hands where he needed to, and it wasn't a block in the back or a hold, but I'm just saying, once your guy's gone, he's gone. Let him go.
I was thinking the same thing on that play, Bob. It was maybe the ref's head was turned just enough where it wouldn't have mattered if he held on as long as he did, but maybe got away with one there, and can live to fight another day.
Gandolfo will kick it. This a little bit deeper, and it bounces out of bounds, so it'll be a procedure penalty against the Explorers, and Father Judge will have good field position to start this drive. That's a dangerous play there.
That is. Well, who are you saying? Dangerous for the Explorers?
Dangerous for Father Judge to
let
that
it go?
ball drop and hope that it bounces sideways out of bounds.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's coming the long way across the field, so it's not like these guys are slow on special teams either, so they can get down there. Lucky to have that take the hop that it did and bounce out of bounds. Special teams, man, it's been the key all night for the Explorers, and almost coming up there. Just unfortunate to get that unfortunate bounce.
6:13 to play. 28-6, LaSalle leads. Dooley, a low snap, keeps it up the middle. Dooley spins into a tackle, but it is a nice gain from him there. A gain of 4 out to the 39-yard line.
Nice gain by him, but also a nice job of the Explorers to not lose contain on him and let him, break too big of a run. These are two elusive guys we've seen so far in the backfield for Father Judge. So they can, they've been able to move the ball, minus the miscues. This is a team that knows how to move the ball and has the weapons in the backfield to do it.
Rain's starting to pitter-patter. You hear it up top on the roof above us.
It's like St. John Baptist de LaSalle decided to only let it rain hard when Judge is on the field.
Here's the slant, nowhere close, unfortunately. Well out past Kevin Kelly, the wide receiver.
And never going to be easy to throw in these conditions, no matter how hard it's raining. So just that's why I don't think we've seen a traditional completed pass all game to this point.
Yeah, just the screen to Kitab Joseph. Yep. That's Brendan Fresco doing the 100-meter dash off your screen there. In his place comes number 10, Luke Hardy. Third down and 6. They need the 45 for a first down. Dooley rolls. Fires it over the top. Has a man. Tries to get the feet down. And he did. Good catch there from Dan Foy. Gives Father Judge a first down.
That was, we're going to stop making comments about how gameplay is going because next play just gets blown up in my face. So just a nice job by Dooley there to roll out, find his man, and for, his receiver to come down with it. Obviously couldn't see how close he was to the sidelines here with the tents in the way, but, able to keep his feet in bounds and make that completion.
First down and 10 for Father Judge inside LaSalle territory. Kitab Joseph bounces to the outside. LaSalle has the edge covered well, and they pull him down out of bounds. That'll be a loss of 2. Maybe just 1, actually, on that play. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 upcoming.
That was just a great job in pursuit by the Explorers to not let that edge get set against them and to go chase the speedy back in Joseph.
Dooley gets the call from the sideline, and the Crusaders, dressed with the white helmets and the blue pants, approach the line here with one back in the backfield. They'll bounce Kevin Kelly to the near side. The shotgun snap. He'll throw that slant to Kelly. Kelly, an unbelievable catch, and slips through the 2 defenders. A first down and a gain of 14 yards.
Wow. That was a strong throw by Dooley, and Kelly just going up and making a real tough catch there. Again, in these conditions, that ball is certainly going to be wet, so nice job to secure it and really let that come in and hit him in the shoulder, basically, and secure it right there and not let it bounce around and potentially drop.
That's a ridiculous catch with some of the catch attempts that we've seen here tonight. Dooley keeps it up the middle. LaSalle stays put, and the defensive line is in there. I see Dylan Traynor in there on the stop.
It's a lot of bundling up there up front, and LaSalle able to keep it to just that short gain.
Lucas McNally in there on the tackle as well, and it's 2nd down and 9. 28-6 the time, 4:22 to play. Two to the far side as we get a timeout quickly called by the Explorers. And the coaching staff is hot. They didn't like the way the Explorers were set up there, Rob, and they're going to talk about it over this timeout.
They did not like it, and they are getting ripped into right now. So I'm not sure where someone wasn't lined up somewhere where they should have been, and they're hearing about it right now.
Rob's been a good year here so far. Enjoyed doing these games with you. It has been certainly the most inclement weather year that we've had. You were fortunate to be across the pond when we did that North Penn game. We were not fortunate to have a press box. No. We were relegated to the outside. A little bit easier here tonight, but that tent setup that you see on the right-hand side of your screen, that was like us, except we had lots of expensive broadcast equipment underneath it rather than water coolers. So
now,
there was a lot more at stake.
How's it make you feel now? I don't know if LaSalle had those same tents set up on that day, but no, seeing these tents here, could they have lent you one?
Tell you what, those tents were not nearly waterproof enough for what we were doing. We had the side wind guards. We had a second tent on top. This stuff can't get wet. Dooley running out of time and takes a huge sack on 2nd down and 9. Timothy Barrett gets into the backfield off the edge and makes the play.
Excellent job by the sophomore to get into the backfield. Dooley has had time. You know, he's been scrambling around, sort of creating his own time all night when he's looking downfield, and that time just unable to get away from Barrett. Nice job by the Explorer end to get into the backfield and bring him down for a real long loss on that play.
It was a sack for 11 yards. And now the Explorers, they're going to take Lucas McNally off the field, bring the edge rusher, Paul Jennings, onto the field. They're going to come at the quarterback. Shane McGovern in motion. Dooley fires over the middle, caught there by McGovern. McGovern made one miss and was so close to breaking that one off. Great play by the Explorers. Tyson Goldstein wrapping it up after the first missed tackle.
Decision time now. 4th down,
I don't think there is a decision.
No.
Got to keep this offense on the field. You're not kicking a 46-yard field goal. And you're not punting it.
So big play here for both sides. You know, momentum has sort of seeded from the Explorers after that hot start they got off to. You know, Father Judge has done a nice job on defense, holding them to just those 7 points over the last quarter, essentially, and this turns into a big one.
Dooley takes off. 4th down, fires it over the middle. Taken down, and it will be enough for a first down. It looked like Paul Jennings was being held. He's demonstrative about that after the fact, but it is a gain of 6 when they needed 5, and a first down for Father Judge as the clock is now stagnant, but only for a moment until the chains are reset at 2:20.
And that was a nice job by Dooley amongst all that confusion to be able to find his target downfield, you know, in a sea of navy blue there for the Explorers and just pick up that first down, keep this drive alive.
Keep an eye at Kitab Joseph out on the outside. They'll bounce him to the outside from time to time and get him involved in the passing game. And there they go. They're going to Joseph. One-on-one, and it's broken up well that time by Jordan Heaton. Stayed with him every step of the way.
Heaton did, and in that situation, it almost looked like Joseph turned into the defender there, not letting Heaton come down with that interception. Would have been in the end zone. So nice job by Heaton recognizing who he was on and staying with his man and breaking up that play.
$1:52 to play. Father Judge looking to cut into this 3-score LaSalle lead before the half. Remember, Rob, Father Judge does get it to begin the second half, so a score here would be a big momentum shift for the Crusaders. Dooley drops back. Dooley had a man wide open, didn't find him. That's because he was taken down by number 61, Leland Mursky. Wide open, though, was Shane McGovern on the outside.
Unfortunate for Dooley to not be able to get that ball out there. Mursky, pardon me, just basically got into the backfield untouched, it looked like. A little delayed stunt maybe, just waiting for the blocks to get set up front and then just picking his time and going after it and getting to Dooley.
So now 1:42 to play in the half. A timeout called on the field by Father Judge, as they want some time to think this one over, and in the event they get that first down, they want to be able to have time to get into the end zone. I might have let that clock wait just a little bit more, though, Rob, because if there is another sack here or something of that nature, and they're either going for it on 4th down or punting, there's still a lot of time on that clock.
Yeah, you don't want to leave the Explorers, too much time. They've shown the ability to strike quick, so see how this ultimately plays out.
3rd and 15. Ball on the 29-yard line. They need the 14 for a first down. McGovern comes in motion again. Dooley sneaks away, stumbled for a minute, now takes off with it. Has a lot of room inside the 20 and knocked out of bounds, but there's a late flag, and it's going to be a block in the back against McGovern. Not really one you needed at that point, Rob.
Exactly what I was going to say. McGovern, Dooley was already by him at that point. I'm not sure why he's trying to make that block, that just really a situation where you got to hold up, pull up, and know that the play's by you.
So now, Rob, this will actually take them back probably a yard or so in front of the line of scrimmage where they last snapped the football, because it's a spot foul. And
10 yards from there.
Yeah, it was about 11 or 12 yards up from where they had initially snapped the football.
So call it a mulligan.
Yeah, no loss of down. We're pretty much back where we started.
With 10 fewer seconds on the clock.
Very astute observation there.
So, ultimately, they let a little bit more time run off the clock.
That's
maybe
fair.
not the way that they wanted to, but
actually, that is a good point. Dooley in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Explorers rush just 3. Savage nearly got to him. Now he fires, and it's over the head of his intended receiver. Goldstein took a nice chunk out of the receiver as the ball was sailing over his head.
Oy. Uncatchable, I guess? Or, I mean, making a play, the ball's coming at him, you can make a play there? Sort of the shove out of bounds?
He hit him as the ball was kind of coming up there, but as he fell, the ball was well beyond him. Not a great look, but I don't think there's anything there.
So now 4th and 15.
Timeout called by Father Judge, 4th down and 15. That's their last timeout of the half. And they have a decision to make here, Rob. Now it is decision time. Again, you're at the 28-yard line, so I don't think that you're punting it here, because if you do punt it, if you get it in the end zone, it's only an 8-yard difference. And I think you have a chance to throw one over the middle, to take a shot to the end zone, perhaps. And you're down 28-6. I think you're trying to score here before the end of the half. You got to get back into this game somehow.
Yeah, I feel like it's like you said, a shot in the end zone kind of time. Ball being at the 28, still a lot of field. If turnover on downs, you're leaving LaSalle a lot of field to try to go the other way in just a minute and a half, less than a minute and a half. So, I feel like it's an all or nothing kind of play here.
4th down and 15. They still need to get to that 14-yard line for a first. Dennis Cranston, the fullback, alongside Dooley, who drops straight back. Dooley fires over the middle. It's caught. Has room. Foy inside the 10. Bounces off to the 5 and dives for the pylon. Touchdown, Father Judge. There's a flag in the middle of the field. We'll await that call. But for now, Foy into the end zone for a 28-yard touchdown. And it's a defensive hold, Rob.
Wow.
They'll decline the penalty. A touchdown for Father Judge, exactly what you needed on 4th down and 15 in the final minute and a half of the first half. They cut it to 2 possessions, and we'll get the football to begin the second half.
Wasn't the bomb to the end zone that you might have expected, but, nice just crossing pattern across the middle of the field. Receiver was wide open. Nice job by Dooley to spot his man, get him the ball cleanly, and then for his receiver to turn it upfield and make a nice diving attempt at the end zone to get the ball across the plane.
28-12. We have a stoppage on the field. And a timeout called. I think, Rob, I'm looking at the board, said they had 0. I thought LaSalle burned the first 2 timeouts of the first half. It might have been marked down as 1 and 1, so I think that's where that came from. I think that was their 3rd and final, and that LaSalle has 1.
Refs conversing, trying to figure that one out. See who took the notes of the timeouts?
Hate to say
Did you write it? Did you write it?
Not really a big deal. Bucks. Well, it is a big deal for LaSalle on the offensive side, and that looks right now. They put LaSalle with 1 timeout. In terms of Judge, I mean, it's an interesting decision for me to chase the points, but it might be one of those things where maybe you trust that more than you do your place kicker nonetheless.
Yeah, you didn't have a good look at it the first time, putting the ball in the end zone. So
now Father Judge to attempt the 2-point conversion. Again, McGovern is in motion. Dooley, the quarterback in the shotgun, loses the handle. Got to get rid of it. And fires over the middle. It's caught. Katab Joseph into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And this kid, tell you, it has not been a clean night for Shane Dooley. However, he has continued to extend the play, escape the pocket, and keep his eyes downfield.
Just, an excellent job. It seems like everything could go wrong, for Dooley in this offense, but he's just been able to fight through, the adversity of the botched snaps and fumbling the ball and bobbling the ball on snaps and really fight, back and keep his team in this game.
You got yourself a ball game here. As we mentioned, LaSalle got the ball, went right down the field, then kicked off to Father Judge. That ball was never touched. LaSalle picked up the football and took possession, went down and scored another touchdown in the first 4 minutes of the game. Then on the next kickoff, it was bobbled by Father Judge. Ball put on the turf. LaSalle came up with that one and won up 21-0 before Father Judge got the football. So now we sit 1:17 to play in the second quarter. Father Judge scores their second touchdown of the game with the 2-point conversion to get it to 2 touchdowns. And if they can stop LaSalle here in this next 1:17, they're going to get the football to begin the second half and have a little bit of momentum on their side. Vesby fumbles the football and picks it up at the 1. And he's hit at the 5. Will be taken down right there. So 1:08 left in the first half. Judge feeling the noise, a little bit of momentum on the Crusaders side. And LaSalle now has a decision to make for how they're going to approach this next 1:08.
And all kinds of flags flying for some extracurriculars going on over there. Be interesting to see how this plays out when they get done talking, because LaSalle's really in a precarious position here if that ball stays where it is or even moves back further. You talk about 1:08 left in these conditions, any kind of bobbled snap, and all of a sudden you're not talking about a 1-score game after the half. It could be a one-score game before we even get to halftime.
And with that in mind, Rob, and keeping in mind the timeout situation, Father Judge with none, perhaps if this ball is at the 5, you consider kneeling the football.
Yeah. Getting out of here with that 2-score lead.
Now, I don't think they do that on the first play. I think they probably run one to the outside or an off tackle for Sam Brown to see if he can make somebody miss, because if he does, the whole field is open for him. But if that doesn't work, I completely agree. Now you're seeing offsetting penalties, personal fouls, a slap on the wrist, as they say, and nothing doing.
The gentleman's flags. Just yelling at both guys, say, behave, knock it off.
Don't do that again.
Won't be so nice next time around.
You got nobody out here. You got nobody out here.
And now more confusion here as they spot the football.
Listen, we may be outmanned to the left here.
Referees taking care of some business right around the line of scrimmage. The time is 1:08 to play in the second quarter.
We're still outmanned over here.
And more whistles.
Man.
We can't get this underway.
And where do they shift it? Who shifts and where do they shift it?
City ordinance. Lights got to go out at 10:15. Let's do it.
No, we're still outmanned to the left. He's up there.
Still awaiting. The ref's still standing over the ball. And they huddle up again. NFL game, you might be hearing a lot of boo birds. At this point, refs just feel like they need to talk. I I don't know. They haven't huddled up enough tonight. I don't know what's.
Oh, there's confusion here, absolutely, about where to spot this football.
Now they're running it up to the 20, the 18, or the what?
This is, unfortunately, a little bit of a joke. They marked it off 15 yards, then dialed it back 10 and put it at the 8-yard line.
So are they applying? But what?
Guys, I'll do the math. 15 minus 10 is 5.
And now we're at the 8. Whew. All right.
And here's the look. Abdul Carter with a play on the outside by Father Judge. They saw the play call coming.
Yep.
And once again, big-time play up the middle by number 40, Dennis Cranston. I like the way this kid plays, Rob.
Yeah, he's been coming after it all night, just getting upfield and breaking up. That's the play that's worked for LaSalle, that pitch, the toss to the outside, and creating space, finding the lane for the running back and letting him go to work. But, nice job there, Father Judge, maybe expecting it a little bit and forcing the Explorers offense back here on that first play.
They say a loss of 3. And now they'll give it to Carter. Carter up the middle. This is actually Sam Brown. Brown up the middle to the 15. No way for Father Judge to stop the clock. We're under 20 seconds, and I don't think LaSalle will snap it again.
They act like they're, yep.
Joe Wade's waving them off the field. Rest of the team doesn't want to. Down to 6 seconds, and now 5, and that's going to be the end of the first half here from Plymouth Whitemarsh. So a very interesting first half here, Rob.
Yeah, a lot happening, a lot going on here in that first half. The LaSalle Explorers jump out to that super fast start, get out to the 21-0 lead, and you feel comfortable 6 minutes into the game, up 21-0. But next thing you know, you maybe take your foot off the gas a little bit, and you get a few stops on defense for Father Judge, and next thing you know, they're right back into this one, a couple scores, and they get the ball at the half, and all of a sudden you're not feeling so comfortable. So a lot to talk about if you're the Explorers as you go into the half. A lot of adjustments to make, but still plenty of positives. You put 28 points on the board, so you can't be too upset with yourselves. Yeah,
momentum is a very fleeting thing, Rob. No doubt about that. But make no mistake, the momentum for this very moment is with Father Judge.
100%.
And that can be quelled by a 3-and-out to start the second half, but for the time being, it's ended with Father Judge with certainly a big set of plays there at the end, and then they really had a tremendous job to get that touchdown right at the end of the half there, and then big stop for LaSalle. I mean, big stop for Father Judge right at the edge of the play. So it's one of those things right now where I think Father Judge has that momentum going into the half, and LaSalle needs to quell it on the way out. But your score 28-14 LaSalle. We'll take a break and come back on the other side. This is Bob Long sports coverage of LaSalle College High School football.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation, our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
I would say that LaSalle is dynamic.
Prepared.
Active.
Diverse. Brotherhood. Family.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation, our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dumpyford.com.
Come experience the Dumpy difference. You'll be glad you did.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
I would say that LaSalle is dynamic.
Prepared.
Active.
Diverse. Brotherhood. Family.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation, our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dumpyford.com.
Come experience the Dumpy difference. You'll be glad you did.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
I would say that LaSalle is dynamic.
Prepared. Active.
Welcome back, everybody. Halftime here at Plymouth White Marsh High School. Now we're going to put on some entertainment for you here. We had the opportunity last night to be at the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame induction dinner. Had some great interviews with some tremendous athletes. They're all available on YouTube right now under Bob Long Sports. And right now we're going to play an interview that we did with Jamie Moyer. The Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame induction dinner with 2008 Philadelphia Phillies World Series champion Jamie Moyer. Jamie, it is great to have you on and thrilled to have you back in the city of brotherly love, as it should be, you getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this evening.
Well, it's great to be back, and it's a huge honor to be here tonight, being inducted into the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame. It's, you know, it's funny, I mean, this whole situation, because a lot of the people that I feel like I'm being inducted with tonight, I grew up watching as a teenager. So it's kind of a thrill for me to be here.
Yeah, well, let's take it back to a big part of the reason that you're here. One, being a Philadelphia native, and two, being part of that 2008 Philadelphia Phillies team. Part of one of the crazier games in Philadelphia sports history, of course, the deciding game over 2 nights against the Tampa Bay Rays. Take us back to that experience, to that time frame.
Well, I mean, as we all, you know, everybody has their own story, right? And that's what makes it so unique and so fun. But from the player's perspective, or from my perspective as a player, you know, the weather wasn't cooperating overly well with us the whole time basically we played here. But that's part of it. You know, that's part of the World Series when you're playing outdoors in the fall, right? You never know what can happen. And, you know, it was, you know, the whole experience was a positive, great experience, obviously, because we won. But you know, the games that we played here, you know, were affected by weather. You know, we either started late or games were interrupted by weather, and we finished the next day. So, I mean, it was different, but I don't think there was any point dealing with the weather that it affected us as a team. You know, as a unit of 25 players and a coaching staff. You know, I think we felt like we were going to win. Just a matter of how and when.
Right. And you did win. And
we did.
You were a big part of that.
Yep.
What was it like? I mean, that was obviously one of the greatest teams in Philadelphia history, and being part of a tremendous pitching rotation that continued to evolve over the next few years and really built this team into a consistent contender deep into the playoffs. What was that like, being part of that initial foundation?
Well, you know, even when I came over here in August of 2006, you know, I think that nucleus had been created. You know, with that being said, you know, Pat Gillick, you know, kind of, I don't want to say manipulated, but tinkered with, you know, adding and subtracting players, and brought in some key players. And, you know, I think as a pitching staff, we were developing, we were maturing, we were growing as individuals and as a staff. And again, you know, we brought in guys like Scott Air, J.C. Romero, Brad Lidge, which our bullpen, and if you watch any of the World Series this year, you see how important a bullpen is. But we did it as a unit. As starting pitchers, I think everybody contributed, and as a bullpen, we did a fantastic job from the pitching side of it. And offensively, I think it speaks for itself. We had some big horses on this team. We had some team speed. We had a lot of guys that could hit the ball over the fence, and we played pretty good and pretty consistent defense. So I mean, you look at baseball, and you look at those things that I've just mentioned. To be a winner, to be consistent, you have to have those things on a consistent basis.
And you see that now across baseball with some of the teams that had tremendous years. Boston Red Sox winning the World Series. They're treating it a little bit differently, though, and there's a new emphasis placed on the bullpen, and the starter going 5 innings in the playoffs is a little bit of a deep outing. As a former pitcher and a guy who played in the World Series and throughout the playoffs and had those key pressure moments after a full 200-plus inning season, what do you think about this change in philosophy across baseball?
Well, I mean, it probably doesn't really matter what I think, but I think in the long run, it's going to change the game dramatically. You watch some of these baseball talk shows. They talk about, what do they call it, the rover. I think they're talking about a rover instead of a starting pitcher. I mean, to me, they're messing with the history of the game. And I get it. The game evolves. It continues to move forward, and it continues to change. But we're seeing major changes, I think, right before our eyes. And the World Series was exciting, but again, it's not baseball as we know it. So again, I think I hope the fan base doesn't change as a whole, but again, they're trying to reach out to the younger generation. So this may be the way to go. It's just I'm not necessarily for it, but I'm not totally against it. I think it will have to kind of grow. For me, it'll have to grow on me. I just think, there's a big value. Look, the way I look from the pitching side, there's approximately 1,600 innings that need to be picked up by a pitching staff per year on every team. Who's going to pick up those innings? And if you have a solid, consistent starting rotation, and you're going to give those guys 32 to 33 starts, you're hoping to get 180 to 220, 230 innings out of those 5 guys. So on average, if you got 200 innings, there's 1,000 innings. Now your bullpen only has to pitch, and I say only, it's a lot, but approximately 600 innings. And to me, keeping the bullpen as fresh as possible is really, really important, because you rely in the latter part of the game for the bullpen to get big timeouts.
Right.
So if they can stay fresh, I think they have a better opportunity of being more consistent and staying healthier. But if they're being used like dish rags, it's just going to shorten careers, and you're going to see guys moving in and moving out. And again, baseball is kind of, everything's power related. So, it's I don't want to say it's as much, when I think of a pitcher, and I'm not basing it just on myself, I'm basing it on what I've seen throughout my career. Pitchers who pitched to location, they were able to change speeds, they were able to elevate, they were able to throw chase pitches. Now it's just rear back and throw it as hard as you can for as long as you can. And when we think you're done, or when the stats say you're done, you're out of the game, and the next guy's going to come in.
Sure, right.
So that's the difference in the game, and that's where it's going. And I think the playoffs this year were quite evident of that.
Sure, and I think another byproduct of that is these guys trying to rear up and throw very, very hard, and you're seeing more and more of an issue with elbow tendonitis, and gets to the decision of having to have Tommy John surgery with the UCL.
Look at it this way. I don't care what activity you do. If you're asking 100% out of yourself consistently, our bodies are not made to do that, right? So the longevity is going to become shorter, in my opinion, and I think that's become quite evident. You're seeing just as many injuries, and with these injuries comes rehab, and some guys come back throwing better, harder, and some guys don't make it back. So I'd rather have a healthy player and have a longer career and teach him how to stay healthy, or set him up to stay healthy, and have a longer career. And now you're going to get somebody that's getting more repetition, and then in the long run should be become a more consistent player with that repetition.
Yeah, no, it's great thoughts, and very, very well thought out position there. Now, one more for you, and I know that this is a night of celebration, obviously, for your time as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies, but there was, of course, a teammate of yours in the Phillies family, Roy Halladay, that unfortunately passed away, and just wanted to get your thoughts and something that you had to say about that.
Well, you know, I'll first speak to Roy. Roy was a great teammate. I looked at him as a friend. You know, and you know, the accident was very, very unfortunate and very sad for Roy, very sad for his family, very sad for the baseball world. I know Roy was doing some work with the Phillies at the time, and I'm sure making a big difference in working with, you know, the minor league pitchers. So, you know, Roy's absence, you know, I'm sure is something that everybody feels. And like you said, he was just a special person and a special teammate, and I really enjoyed the time that I had with Roy on and off the field.
Jamie, good thoughts. Appreciate the sentiments. Thank you so much for taking some time, and congratulations once again on your induction.
Thank you very much.
Diverse. Brotherhood. Family.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation, our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dumpyford.com.
Come experience the Dumpy difference. You'll be glad you did.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
I would say that LaSalle is dynamic.
Prepared. Active. Diverse. Brotherhood.
Welcome back, everybody. Plymouth White Marsh High School, beginning of the third quarter here on BLS. Bob Long, Rob Stott, and Mara Long on camera. Excited to be back alongside everybody this evening for a District 12 quarterfinal matchup. And we're underway as Kitab Joseph drops the football. And it's blown dead. Fair catch. So how about that? So that's going to pull them all the way back to their own 10.
It doesn't look like he was the one that signaled for it. At least I didn't catch it if it was him or not. But someone on the receiving team called for it.
Pretty senseless
Called a
play.
fair catch. Yeah, I don't know. Ball's not coming to you. I don't know why you would call for a fair catch, but that is the end of the play in high school, as we're being told here in the booth. That is interesting. So we talked about it.
It's high school football for you, man.
We talked about
weird stuff
before the end of the half. You know, that judge, it was big for them to get that touchdown going into the half. Just about a minute left because of this very situation here. They get the ball to start the second half, and now this becomes a super important drive for both offense and defense here, and we'll see how each team responds.
Kitab Joseph up the middle. The Explorers get the initial tackle after a gain of about 2. And Leland Mursky in there on the stop.
And also important to mention the fact that it looks like, at least for now, the rain has held up. So it is not coming down right now. Field's going to be a little slick, which in turn might make the ball a little slick. But for the moment, Father Judge has this ball on offense without any precipitation coming down out of the sky.
Well, I don't know if that matters or not. I mean, Kitab Joseph, first play of the half, ball was just put on the tee, had trouble with it. It's still... must be a little slick out there. Dooley drops straight back, fires a slant, and it's caught. Big gain up the middle to the 32-yard line, caught by Dan Foy.
Nice patience by Dooley there, waiting for his man to come across the middle of the field. Had a nice, well-designed play. Had another receiver out in front of him underneath. He came underneath that receiver with the slant, caught the ball, had a blocker immediately in front of him, and just able to pick up a nice gain there.
And there's no doubt that Dooley can fling it around the yard a little bit, starting to get his progressions together, and found Dan Foy there up the middle. Joseph up the middle. He's got a big gain, cuts inside, and runs into his own man. A 12-yard gain is good enough for a first down, and Judge is rolling.
Joseph just looking at Bringhurst there. If he's not there, he's talking to his man saying, why are you in my way? But Abdul Carter had an opportunity there. It looks like he just got sort of stuck in the mud. There is no mud on this field, but it looks like he got stuck in his shoes and unable to move and make that tackle on Joseph. And Joseph put the move on and took the ball upfield.
10:30 to play. Clock ticks here in the third quarter. Father Judge scored the last touchdown of the first half, stopped LaSalle deep in their own territory to close up the first half, and now drives down the field. That's a gain of 2 in between the tackles for Kitab Joseph.
Not much room there in between the tackles for Joseph. Explorers front doing a nice job closing up that line, not letting any holes develop, and bringing the back down.
Shane Dooley, he came into the game, really a tremendous season for him. He has 15 touchdowns throwing the football in the 9 games played. 93 for 179. Throwing the football for over 1,500 yards. That's all coming into tonight. Dylan Traynor gets into the backfield on 2nd down and 8 and pushes him way back. That'll be a loss of 8 yards. That'll be 3rd down and long behind the chains.
There's a lot of action up front for the Explorers. A lot of guys coming in running a bunch of stunts, really confusing the front for Father Judge, and able to get to Dooley was Traynor, bringing them down for a big loss. Now a big 3rd down. Opportunity to get off the field here for the Explorers. So got to play some tight D, not give up those crossing patterns. They've been real susceptible to that in the secondary. So opportunity for them to step up and put this drive to an end.
Explorers in cover 1. Goldstein is the deep safety.
Oof.
Now Dooley escapes from traffic, throws on the run, and it's incomplete at about the 50-yard line. So he ran back about 10 yards. Through it was a 20-yard pass. Even if it was caught, would have been 5 yards short. And the LaSalle defense got after Dooley, got him out of the pocket. And that was the big part of that play there, Rob.
fortunate there. You know, Dooley's been good when he's out of the pocket tonight. I mean, he's shown his ability to create plays downfield when it looks like the play's broken. So a nice job of the secondary to keep their coverage and force that pass to come short of the yard marker to gain anyway. So, you know, they needed to get off the field on third down, and they did.
Blaze Arnold kicked the ball 43 yards his last time. A little bit of a high snap. LaSalle comes after it. He goes down. A little bit of theatrics there as now Hardy comes up with it at the 28-yard line and will be taken down as he nudges forward to the 30. And he's still asking for the flag, Blaze Arnold. Tyson Goldstein got close, or Zaire McLaren, I should say, got close, maybe tapped up against him, and he went flying like a truck hit him. That's what you're taught to do.
I'm a punter, man. I want a flag. Give me that flag. He didn't get it, though. One thing I'd like to see on the other end of that play, the other side of the field, Hardy, you know, was trying to do everything he could to pick up a couple yards. He was wrapped up and just having that ball hanging out. He was trying to reach for it with one hand while he's still up. That's you got to really protect that ball, especially in these conditions where we've seen the ball be slick all night. So, real fortunate to not have someone come in and knock that ball out.
Cover one here as LaSalle goes over the top. Diarra brings it in, takes down the referee on his way there, and the other referee comes in to say, yes, sir, it's a catch for Diarra.
Wow, that, to me, might be the prettiest pass we've seen all year out of Sean Daly. Just perfectly executed play, dropped it in the dime to Khalil Diarra, and Diarra able to bobble it, come down with it, and complete the pass. And
sideline warning here against the Explorers.
Sorry, as I was waiting on the flag, but just a nice job by Diarra concentrating, coming down with that completion, and really, if you want to talk about a play that can kind of start changing the momentum of this game, you have the big play on third down to get off the field, and now you got the catch by Diarra, and the Explorers' offense is in business.
There was a huddle of the referees there. I wasn't sure if they were trying to see if anybody else had a better look at that, because the referee that was closest to the play got absolutely hammered into the ground by 6'6" Khalil Diarra.
Defenders don't want to tackle him. I can't imagine a referee that's not wearing pads wants to get in his way either.
Now Daly in the shotgun. Sam Brown to the outside. Daly throws a lateral. Brown has it. Brown has blocking, and the flag will bring it back as he rolls to the end zone, but almost certainly coming back as there was a block in the back on the outside. I think it was Luke Hardy.
Yeah, didn't catch who it was, but that was certainly, you know, that's in the area. The referee's coming from the secondary.
And in my mind, that one's blatant.
Brown just, you know, found the space, but the space was created because of that penalty. So they call a hold.
Yeah.
So one way or the other.
It was blatant there because the defender actually had the inside track as Hardy lost him, and he was on the outside. So the only way that judge player is not going to come to the inside is if there's some sort of hold or block in the back. Happened down the field, however, so LaSalle will only lose 2. First down and 12 with 8:20 to play in the third quarter. Toss sweep. And here's Sam Brown the other way. Big gain inside the 25 to the 20. Cuts inside, and he'll go untouched. 40-yard run for a touchdown. Sam Brown is having a night.
It's that same play. It's that pitch to the outside, giving Brown the ball, letting his blockers get set in front of him, creating that space, and Brown just doing a nice job showing improved vision over these last few weeks and able to take it in for yet another long touchdown run for these Explorers, and more specifically Sam Brown.
Sam Brown having a great evening here. Gandolfo getting plenty of work himself. He's 5 for 5 on point after attempts.
Coming out of the half, what you didn't want was to give up a touchdown to Father Judge, or give up a Father Judge touchdown, allow them to get back into this one, make it a one-score game, and you have the opposite happen. Exactly what you needed to happen. You stop that first drive, you get that offense off of the field, get your offense the ball, you go down the field and, you know, stretch this lead a little bit, back up to a 21-point lead.
We mentioned the momentum being fleeting going into the half, and Father Judge had it. LaSalle's defense did what they needed to do. They got the stop, and then Sam Brown taken off. Big 40-yard rush for the touchdown. Gives LaSalle once again a 21-point lead. Almost the way we started.
The pep band's into it. They're back into it.
For the way, for those that weren't with us, the way that this game started, LaSalle got the football, went right down the field, scored a touchdown. Kicked off. Father Judge never touched the football. Took backspin right into the arms of the Explorers. They went down, scored again on a kick just like this. This one's caught by Father Judge and taken down at the 32-yard line. So they scored that second touchdown. Then again, same type of kick. And on that second kickoff for the Explorers with a 14-0 lead, Father Judge still hadn't touched the football. Father Judge fumbles it. LaSalle recovers and goes down and scores once again. So it was really 21-0 before Father Judge ever touched the football. And they worked their way back to be down by 2 scores, receiving the football to begin the second half. So LaSalle, with that score, takes again that 21-point lead.
Just well done by their defense. You know, got the talking to that they needed, I guess, during the half. Came out ready to play, and that's what they did. We'll see what they do here now.
Shane Dooley in the shotgun for Father Judge. Fakes the give, now tosses the screen to the outside. Good move there by Shane McGovern and slips through one tackle, getting out to the 41-yard line. A gain of 9.5. Looks about a half yard short of a first down.
That was a nice job by the blockers out there for Father Judge, getting in front of McGovern and giving him the space to run and pick up nearly a first down.
Second and 1. Father Judge out again in the shotgun. Kitab Joseph to the right of Shane Dooley. Explorers cover 0 here. Dooley goes right up the middle. It was a great defensive call there. But it looks like Dooley might have nudged forward. He got 1.5 yards. He needed 1. Yep. So first down.
They were waving the stick, so that was a nice job of Dooley to fight for that first down, and he got it.
That was just battle of wills there. Both teams charging at that line of scrimmage, trying to fight. And it was Dooley able to nudge that nose of the football forward.
And something of note right now, Kitab Joseph got up. Didn't look like he was 100%, a little shaky. He's hopping on one foot. See if still looks like he has a little limp there in the backfield next to Dooley.
Guy's been doing this for a very long time here for Father Judge. It is Joseph on the give. Bounces off one tackle with the spin. He's got blocking on the outside. Cuts back up the middle and ducks forward at the 49-yard line. Another gain of 9 yards. It'll be second down and 1.
So if he's hurting, he didn't show it on that play.
No, sir.
So he looked like a strong run there out of the backfield for Joseph. Nice job moving and shaking and making guys miss. Picking up a strong 9 yards.
Six minutes, 24 seconds to play in the third quarter. LaSalle, 21-point lead. It's a direct snap and going right up the middle. Same play call. Dooley's dragging the whole LaSalle defense up the field. Zaire McLaurin and number 23, TJ Meacham, dragged about another 5 yards.
Just a strong run by Dooley. I'm not sure how he snuck through there, but he did. And just using power in his legs to keep that play alive.
Big drive here for Father Judge here, Rob. 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Joseph up the middle. Joseph hit by Trainer, taken down after a gain of 3. But a good play on first down.
Yeah, Father Judge needed a response. You know, they didn't start this half the way they expected to, for sure. So giving up the points to LaSalle, you need to come down the field here and respond yourselves. So they're doing a nice job of at least starting this drive in a way that they can have that response that they need. And again, like we've seen all night, though, it's been Dooley and it's been Joseph doing the work.
Confusion at the line of scrimmage here for Father Judge. They'll bring Matt Brinhurst in motion. Joseph in the backfield. Dooley spins away from one would-be tackler, and then he's hit hard at the 42-yard line. Dylan Trainer add another sack to his column a great year for the senior linebacker.
Who else? You know, Dylan Traynor, always staying in pursuit. I mean, the guy has been doing this year in, year out for these Explorers, and just another example of that right there. You know, getting after his man.
By the way, he feels like a senior. He's only a junior.
Oh, a junior, wow.
Another year.
Phew. Man.
Guy that has been
playing like a veteran
for years, and now the center of this defense, a young defense with a lot of guys coming back next year.
Strong linebacker there in the middle of this team.
Low snap. Dooley comes up with it. Brought down.
Wow.
What a play there. Leland Mirsky.
Wow. That was just strong hands by Mirsky, able to get to Dooley. I mean, fighting off of his blocker, just trying to get away from him and get to Dooley. And Dooley is elusive, so no question there. He's a tough guy to bring down, and Mirsky just doing an excellent job getting a hold of him, any part of him that he could, and just dragging him to the ground.
4th and 25. So now Father Judge will have to punt. Luke Hardy heels at the 20-yard line, just 8 yards beyond the first down marker. LaSalle's got guys, they're going after this punt. They get it off barely. That's a good punt there. Hardy makes the play and gets drilled. Shane McGovern never saw a fair catch signal. That's because there was none, so he kept trucking and took Luke Hardy out.
That was, you know, you often hear the situation of out-kicking your coverage. That was a straw. That looked like a fast punt that, you know, could have done just that, but McGovern able to stay up with it and get to Hardy before he's able to make a move and get away and just bring him down hard.
Not a ton of hang time doesn't matter. McGovern's got the wheels. So the offense back out onto the field, I formation. The handoff is to the fullback, and it's taken down right there again. He continues to be a part of the defense. Dennis Cranston, another tackle for him.
Not to ignore our offense real quick, but I see someone walking away, and I wanted to make a shout-out to him. The reason I was talking about Traynor being that strong guy in the middle is because we have Zaire Franklin is in the crowd today. We'll bring it back and talk about that in a minute, but
2nd down and 8. I formation. Sam Brown, the deep back, busts through the hole, runs through a would-be tackler, and needs a second to bring him down. That's a 19-yard gain out to the 39-yard line for Sam Brown.
Comes up a little hobbly. He's calling for Abdul Carter or someone else to get in for him, but just another strong run by Brown up the middle. Nice job. I mean, we talked a little bit about it, but, you know, really need to credit this offensive line for what they've done tonight, creating those holes for guys like Brown and Carter to work their way through, you know, and move this ball downfield for the Explorers.
1st down and 10. Handoff is to Tim Melman. Melman out to the 45-yard line.
Nice job by Melman finding the hole up front, able to get, you know, about half of the 10 yards that he needs, maybe a little more. Keep this offense on schedule.
But yeah, Rob, you mentioned Zaire Franklin, member of the Indianapolis Colts, on bye this weekend, back here in the city of brotherly love, and out here at the District 12 quarterfinal game to support his guys. Nice good to see.
Yeah, absolutely good to see. A guy that graduated with my brother in 14, and, you know, nice to see him here supporting where he got his start on the football field, at least in high school. I don't know. I'm sure he played beforehand, so, you know, started his high school career. That then went to Syracuse, you know, had a real strong career at Syracuse. Named a captain of that team as a sophomore, you know, which is impressive to see at any level of any college team. So, I mean, I know Syracuse maybe doesn't have this storied history that it they're not in a situation they were maybe a decade or so ago. Donovan McNabb, guys like Marvin Harrison coming out of that school, Dwight Freeney.
A decade? You're dating
more than
yourself,
a decade.
man.
Yeah, I know, right? Maybe longer than that. Certainly longer than that.
Melman off tackle, gets about 5. But, listen, you say all that, but they also had one of the great wins of any college football program in the last decade when they took down Clemson at the Carrier Dome.
They sure did. Almost did it again this year.
That's true.
Almost did it again down in Clemson, at Clemson. So.
Franklin the difference.
Yeah.
Of course. He played a huge part in that game and with that program in general.
Certainly did. A guy that's been fighting the odds. Didn't get an invite to the Combine. Had to do it at his pro day.
Abdul Carter up the middle. Abdul Carter's going to win a foot race to the end zone. 46 yards. Touchdown, LaSalle.
Nice job again up front by the LaSalle Explorers. Their offensive line creating space for Carter. Carter finding the hole, hitting it, and putting on the Jets, outrunning the Father Judge defense and putting another 6 on the board for the Explorers.
So another big night for LaSalle's offense. Scored 55 last time against Father Judge. They're at 41 right now.
And doing it almost exclusively on the ground. I can't wait to see what the rushing numbers look like after this one.
Can't wait to see what the passing numbers are, if any.
Yeah.
We said Sean Daly completed 4 passes in the game last week against Roman Catholic.
2 tonight?
Well, the one was a... there's one.
Pass to Diarra.
You got another one? The one was a lateral.
And it went backward. You're right. So, no, 1 pass completion is all I can think of.
Well,
And
to
less
check
than...
our good friend Ted Solari's website when he gets those scores up. Or Bill Wasilenko. Bill Wasilenko will send out the email. Our boy.
Mr. Football Historian. Always a fun guy to talk to.
So 42-14, 52 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. A District 12 semifinal between LaSalle and Father Judge. The winner of this game will take on the winner of St. Joseph's Prep and Roman Catholic next weekend. That directional kick goes out of bounds, or caught and then run out of bounds at the 35-yard line. LaSalle's defense will come back out onto the field.
And Boyd takes the kick out of bounds where Father Judge will start at the 30.
Don't think I even addressed it. I just threw it on at halftime, but the interview with Jamie Moyer, hopefully everybody that was on enjoyed that, as you were otherwise enjoying the halftime messages from our friends at Dunphy Ford and the like. But that was a good time yesterday at the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame induction dinner. Jamie was inducted. Brian Westbrook was inducted, among many, many others. Reggie Leach was inducted as well. As Dooley pumps twice, now fires over the top. Pretty good throw there, in and out of the hands of Kitab Joseph, but probably one that should have been caught.
Dooley, I mean, placed that perfectly in between. He had an underneath defender covering Joseph and a safety over the top and put it right where it needed to be for Joseph to come down with it, just unable to bring that ball in. Yeah, it's always a fun opportunity. You know, you talk about that Philly Sports Hall of Fame. Didn't get out there to Sugar House with you this year, Bob, but had fun the last couple of years covering, having some really cool conversations. You know, talking to Charlie Manuel, I think we talked to.
We did. Tough to forget, man.
Lou Nolan.
Yep.
Some big names in the Philly sports scene, so it's always a good time to get out to that. And
Dick Weiss, tremendous basketball
right.
writer. Another low snap. Dooley throws the screen, and this could set up decently well as Joseph spins, but LaSalle recovers pretty well. Nice play there. Abdul Carter got the first contact, but there were 2 others Explorers right there for the tackle.
Nice job. Kitab showing his elusiveness there. I mean, hitting the circle button. There it is. The Madden reference.
Token. Got it.
Ready to reference my reference before I even referenced it, but showing his elusiveness. But LaSalle's defense, nice job to stay with him and prevent that screen from doing anything, really.
So they're down to 4 seconds. Father Judge could have snapped it before the end of the third quarter. They'll elect to go to the fourth and snap it on the other side of midfield. So after 36 minutes of football, it's LaSalle 42, Father Judge 14. And you're watching a District 12 quarterfinal matchup here on BLS. We will be right back on the other side.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation, our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dumpyford.com.
Come experience the Dumpy difference. You'll be glad you did.
One more quarter to go here on BLS. 3rd down and 10 for Father Judge. Dooley in the shotgun. Drops straight back. Jennings nearly got to him. Dylan Trainor's going to force him to throw it away and drives it into the turf after the fact.
And that one hit the top of the tent. You could see everyone ready to catch it, but the tent bobbles and nearly caves in on itself, taking out a couple of explorers standing underneath it on the sideline.
Very structurally sound.
Late flag. This one I think.
That's a bad call.
Yeah. Intentional grounding. He was out of the pocket. If it hit the tent where it did.
Okay. I'm sorry. That was a good call.
Right.
I thought they were calling roughing the passer there. My apologies.
Gotcha.
Not looking in the traditional sense at the official. My apologies.
Thought the pass. I mean, so he's out of the pocket. Has to get back to the line of scrimmage. Right?
Didn't get back to the line.
So I thought maybe with it hitting the tent where it did, that the line might have been. Oh, well, no. So that's a spot foul. Was it 3rd and 10 there?
It was 3rd and 10, so we would have needed to have gotten it all the way back to the 34-yard line.
And he did not, for sure.
So another big loss. Now 4th down and a mile. Luke Hardy heels right on the 50-yard line as Father Judge will punt.
And back for the punt is the rain as well.
High snap. He goes up and gets it and delivers a good one. A really good piercing kick that gets through the wind. Hardy keeps his footing. Hardy cuts inside at the 40. Gets to the 30. To the 20. He's got one more to go. Oh! Taken down at the 5. He had one man to beat, and it was the punter that took him down.
Wow. Unfortunate for Hardy. The punter. He's going to hear it from his teammates for that one.
Film session's going to be great.
But just a nice job by Hardy. Great job by the blockers in front of him, able to create that space for him, create a lane for Hardy. And, we've seen the crazy catches all year. Hasn't really done much as far as, that big return, that signature return of the year, but he did so there just a few yards short, 5 yards short of that touchdown.
Give him a Sharpie. That's his signature return right there. Was that bad? That was bad.
I'll let it slide.
I appreciate it, Rob. I appreciate you.
I was going to let it. You brought it up.
I did. Now Daly in the shotgun inside his own 5. Play clock at 7. Rain coming down sideways as they go with the jet sweep. Hardy cuts inside. Give it right back to him. How about that? Leaping into the end zone. Touchdown Explorers.
I don't know if he landed on his feet, but that was this offense and Coach Wade deciding, you did enough work there, son. Let's let you finish the drive, and they did just that. Hardy trying that same jump to get over that he did to get over the punter that fell a little short, and this time it works. Gets over the defender and into the end zone for another 6 for this Explorers offense.
Well, his brother was a tremendous track athlete, and he was on the team that was the Championship of America victor at the Penn Relays a few years ago.
Right.
So he's got that track blood, that high jump blood into him. I'm sure Coach Greg Bielecki would be happy to bring him onto the track team this spring.
If he's here, do a little scouting on the sidelines, Mr. Bielecki. That was an excellent display of athleticism by Hardy. On the punt return and the one play after, all him. Those 6 points are all his.
So a 35-point lead by rule. It will now be a running clock the rest of the way. And we'll let the people know as LaSalle has seemingly punched its ticket to the Philadelphia, or I should say the District 12 semifinal, which will be pitted against 2 Catholic League teams, whether that's St. Joe's Prep or Roman Catholic. Unfortunately, this is it for us, Rob. It's the last time PIAA regulations here prevent us from doing this game, that particular game. So this is the last time that we're going to be getting together this year and doing this. Enjoyed everything we did together. Going to enjoy this last 11 minutes and 30 seconds and hope that the good folks out there watching do as well. Certainly express our apologies that we're unable to bring that to you next week, because it certainly means a lot to us to be able to do this for the LaSalle community. But we do appreciate all the support that we get, all the nice comments, whether it's on Twitter or here at the venue for the work we do. It is appreciated that you guys appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always a lot of fun coming out and doing these games and staying connected to this community. It's great to be here for these games and to talk to you guys. Well, talk at you guys, I guess.
It's back on the ground. LaSalle thinks they had it. Luke Hardy had an opportunity. It might be Father Judge that came up with it this time, and indeed it is.
Pounding his fist there, knew he had the chance, but unable to come back down with it and give the Explorers the ball on offense again. But like you said, Bob, this is it's fun to do. Always have a good time doing it. Coming out year in, year out for these games and making these calls and following this Explorers team. But we should, before this 11 minutes is up, we should make one last call for a little where you at.
Let's do it
one more time this year. So you know what to do if you're a faithful follower. I know one will likely get in.
If you don't, Rob's going to explain it to you.
Yep. So you just at Bob Long Sports on Twitter. Just let us know tweet at us, let us know where you're watching from, and we'll give you the shout out.
Shane Dooley, nice runoff tackle on the direct snap, and he takes it past the 50-yard line. Gain of 12 for the quarterback for Father Judge.
And if you need help spelling, it's where, W-H-E-R-E, yat. And it's just yat. Yat is yat.
So wait, you're going to spell where for them and
where,
not yat?
Where, yat.
Spell yat.
Yat.
Going to have hashtags all over the place here. Dooley right up the middle, stopped after a gain of 2.
I spell yat. Yat. That's how I spell yat.
Wonderful.
How do you spell yat? I don't even want. No, I don't even want to know. I don't want to know how you spell yat. You spell it like yat. That's all. And if you try to tell me it's a Y-A-T, I don't want to hear it.
That's fine. I won't say it then.
Oh.
Forgot about that alternate spelling. It is coming down now as hard as it has.
Woo!
There's people screaming for cover. There's none to be found except for here in our tiny press box.
I got my umbrella in here just in case.
He's wide open there. Makes the catch at the 40, down to the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Scored by Dan Foy. He found himself wide open on the other side of the field. A great play call by Father Judge. They dragged the receiver on that side across the middle, took the corner with him, and then Foy slipped all the way out by himself.
Well designed. I mean, had everything going one way and just Dooley coming back the opposite way, finding the wide open man and Foy did the rest. Took that ball to the end zone, puts a stop to this running clock.
Nope.
No?
Once it starts, it doesn't stop.
So, at least pulls Father Judge a little bit closer. Make this 8.
I should clarify. It stopped right now, and there's another missed bobbled snap. Might be an opportunity getting towards the end zone, dives in, and just the way you draw it up, the 2-point conversion is good.
Unreal. Just, the weather obviously playing factor all night, causing that botched snap, and just an excellent job. Was that McGovern? I think on the hold and just, showing he showed his athleticism throughout this evening. Nice job by him of picking that ball up and getting outside of all the defenders and able to turn that upfield for 2 points. The craziest 2 points you'll probably ever see.
And crazier, the rain has just about stopped.
Right on time.
Just on time. If you guys had Father Judge in your 22 pool, you're about 9 minutes and 38 seconds away from winning. You know the 22 pool, don't you?
Tell me about it.
In the NFL, you have fun with your buddies. You pick a team for who's going to finish a football game with 22 points first in the year, because it's a number that is so rarely achieved.
Right.
Because how do you get to 22? 2 touchdowns, a third touchdown with a 2-point conversion. You can kick 5 field goals and score a touchdown with an extra point. How do you get to 22? So that's where the 22 pool came from. And Father Judge is at least on the number for now.
Craziness.
Judge is going to kick the onside kick, a high hop, pretty good kick. Khalil Diarra went up high and got it. The hands team was out. The hands team delivered, because that was a pretty decent onside kick that time.
That was a well-executed kick there by Father Judge. Just unfortunate that it was right at the tallest man on the field in Khalil Diarra. Diarra doing his job, coming down with it. The anchor of that hands team. And I guess while we have the opportunity, might as well give that one last shout-out of the season to Nancy Diani, checking in from Clarkston, Michigan, with her family. Enjoyed listening, the part of the Zobel family.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate the faithful listening, the faithful followers. Nancy and her crew being certainly one of them.
And I know that as now Gavin Daly takes this snap and runs up the middle. But I know that after we went off air, at least maybe while we were still on air and we didn't get to check it, we were talking about Garrett Zobel. You were talking about specifically his wrestling career. But she mentioned, of course accurately, that Garrett is now playing his football at Villanova.
He is.
Remember the Wildcats, which is always good to see. And we were talking at halftime, by the way, Rob, about how back when LaSalle football won the state championship in 2009, that snow game, where they pushed the game time up from 7 p.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. because of the fear of ice and the like.
Yep.
I happened to be down in Chattanooga, Tennessee the night before, drove down a perfectly dry I-81 to watch Villanova football play against Montana in the national championship, the Division I FCS national championship. Villanova won the football game. We had all these plans to drive right back up 81, go to the LaSalle football game that next day in Hershey. We were going to stay the night in Chattanooga. We had all that time.
Mother Nature had different plans.
Different ideas. They shut down 81. We went out to Louisville, Kentucky, across to Ohio, came across Pittsburgh, starting to get snow about Breezewood, and realized we're not going to get to this game on time. Got to Hershey in the middle of the second quarter and watched LaSalle win the state championship.
Unreal.
So that was my weekend that weekend, and my Villanova football and LaSalle story coming together.
Absolutely crazy. One of the most remarkable games. You know, the weather conditions and everything. I mean, all came together though, and resulted in that state championship. One of the most memorable years in this program's history for sure.
Saw Drew Lockery a few months ago. His dad owns a business downtown, Cherry Street Tavern. Great roast beef, by the way.
Oh, unbelievable.
But so a big shout to Drew, and I know that he was nice enough to say that he and his family enjoy watching us. So a big thank you to them as LaSalle on the 4th and 1 got up to the line and got Father Judge on the hard count, and it'll be offside against the Crusaders, and first down for LaSalle.
It's a nice job forcing that jump and keeping the clock moving here.
6:52 left. Clock ticks here in the fourth. 49-22 LaSalle.
Do we talk about the B before we go off air tonight? The B incident of...
Go for it. Of 2018?
Of 2018. Of the first round of the playoffs of 2018.
Let's let my man Gavin Daly get this snap off first.
We'll do it. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself.
Here's the give to the outside. Kennedy makes one miss. Stiff arms another. He's still going inside the 25-yard line.
Strong.
Liam Kennedy, the sophomore, coming out of the backfield.
Strong run by Kennedy, using that arm and those legs, churning upfield, letting his blocks get set up in front of him, and it's a nice job picking up the first down.
Boy, you felt like the band had a little more oomph on that one?
Certainly.
Think they know their night's coming to the end?
They get to travel with them, right?
Get that brass dry.
But the B.
Yeah.
The B.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I was just going to ask how instruments play when they're wet. I don't know if it's better, worse, or indifferent. Shows my ignorance. But let's give my man Gavin Daly another snap.
Or not.
Flag on the play.
Not delay a game.
Yep, it's a false start against LaSalle. So as you were.
So the B. We were in here getting ready for halftime when floating around us was, what else but a B. And he was getting in your face. I saw you were a little worried about him. I knew, you know, he was catching the corner of your eye as you're trying to talk. And
we say a B, a yellow jacket, right? Yeah.
It was big.
Yep.
It was a big guy. I mean, not like the, the wood carpenter bees, the thick ones. This was one had a clear stinger hanging out the back end of it and getting in our face, all up in us, and
that was
not letting us do our thing.
Half Georgia Tech yellow jacket, half Charlotte Hornet. I tell you what.
It was something else, something to behold.
Daly up the middle. Daly taken down after a gain of 2 on 1st and 15.
So we're trying to do our thing. We're sitting here talking, and next thing you know, it makes a no pun intended, a beeline right for my face. And I had to do some Matrix, Keanu Reeves, like ducking and weaving, and snapped my head to the left and saw my headset just flew off, and I could tell I befuddled you with my movements because you were almost speechless. And so if anyone was wondering what was happening to myself and Bob as halftime was about to get underway and why we were fumbling over words or searching for our words, it was because of the B.
I don't think anybody was worried about me, but everybody's concerned about you, Rob. Timothy Melman to the outside, runs through a defender taken out of bounds. They mark him out at the 16-yard line.
So nice job lowering the shoulder, sticking it into the defender and getting positive yards. And I think the band's ready for a little party, a little celebrating. Got some Sweet Caroline happening.
Indeed.
I'm not going to do it. I did it. I did it anyway.
And they stopped playing as soon as you did that. Band director's like, please, you got to stop this guy in the booth. Play clock down to 5, 3:48 on the game clock. Daly takes it right up the middle and taken down at the 15. So 4th down and about 3 upcoming for the Explorers. Decision time, but I don't think there is a decision. I don't think you put Gandolfo out there again with the muddy, or shouldn't say muddy, but the slick field.
Why risk injury to, one slight misstep, your kicker goes down. You don't want to do that. And
you've already taken your starting quarterback out of the game.
Yeah, just keep guys healthy. This gives younger guys an opportunity to come into a game situation, playoff situation, no less, and get some real live action.
10 on the play clock. Under 3 minutes left in this one. They fake to give to Kennedy. Instead, it's up the middle to Melman. Melman is hit hard. Got past the line to gain. A gain of 5 for a first down in between the tackles.
Melman went 90 degrees, just took a shoulder right to the chest and went back to the ground. That looked like it not going to feel good, but just a nice job of him holding on to the ball, keeping it secure and picking up the first down.
2 minutes, 30 seconds left. LaSalle with a first down, goal to gain. Play clock is down to 4. They're not going to get this one off. Might think about burning a timeout. But they get the snap off and kneel the football.
Huh.
Why did it stop again?
But the clock stopped.
Clock should be running, and
there
it is. But the play clock is not.
Huh.
It's the beginning of the season, Rob. They'll get it figured out.
It's all right. They got all year.
In the victory formation.
Waiting for that clock to run down. Well, that's it.
Last game of the season, Rob, for us. That is. Can't hold anything back now.
No. I don't want to do anything that gets us kicked off the air, or me off of your show, I guess I should say.
Rob,
so we'll keep it clean.
Rob, if it hasn't happened so far in 4 years, it's not going to happen for anything you do going forward.
Careful what kind of leeway you give me, Bob.
Hey, I mean this seriously, though, Rob. It's been nothing but a pleasure.
It's always awesome. We said it earlier, but these games have always been fun to do. I mean, this booth is fun to come to every Friday night, Saturday afternoon, whatever it is, and you see the fun the Explorers having on the sideline dancing. That's how I feel after every game. Every game, man. I would just want to dance. So no, we have a good time doing this, and this is it's cool to do. You know, like I said, it keeps us connected to this community, and we have fun coming back. You know, following these athletes, kind of getting to know their stories a little bit, talk to the coaches. I mean, we stay pretty connected, so it's a fun gig. You know, fun crew to do it with. Nice coming hanging out with you guys every Friday night, and you know, putting the show together.
I gotta give a big thanks to my wife, too. Standing to my right, doing the camera, working through a brand new tripod, which I don't think we realized until the game started is quite stiff until you really get it going.
Need some breaking in.
Wonderful. Yes, we decided the game was the time to do that. So sorry about that, but thank you to Mara Long, my wife, not just for doing the camera tonight, but for allowing me to take the time to do this, to help give back to the LaSalle community, and to call some LaSalle football. The Explorers are on their way to the District 12 semifinal, where they will take on the winner of Roman Catholic and St. Joseph's Prep. If it does happen to be the Prep, it will be a rematch against the arch rival, a team Prep who's steamrolled just about everybody so far, but this team learning a lot about themselves in the time since that late September meeting, Rob, and I think there's a lot of guys in that locker room that are really excited for the opportunity to get at Big Bad St. Joe's Prep one more time.
They sure are. We were there at Widener for that game and got to see the shellacking. I mean, there's no other way to really put it that LaSalle took. Totally different team, I think, at this point. You know, the names necessarily haven't changed, but the way they're playing, the momentum this team is carrying into that likely matchup with St. Joe's. You know, this is a team that's figuring out their weapons, how to use their weapons. Sean Daly, that a quarterback that's had, you know, that much more game experience and, you know, getting comfortable in this offense, in this system with these coaches and with his players, and you know, should be a great one. One way or the other, it'll be a fun one to watch, and you know, I'm sure every single one of these guys is gearing up for that matchup. They know what they're going to be facing. They know who the likely opponent is, so I'm sure they are more than ready to get back after it with St. Joe's.
We'll pull it back to the booth as soon as they do the alma mater here for one last sign-off for me and for Rob. But as they always do here for LaSalle College High School football, the playing of the alma mater by the pep band. Welcome back once again inside our broadcast booth. Thanks, everybody, for being a part of our broadcast this year, for being faithful viewers, for contributing via the Twitter and the online platform. Where you at? Where you at?
Where you at?
Rob Stott's favorite game. And thanks for letting us into your homes on a week-by-week basis. We certainly appreciate it. It's our last game of the year. I know we mentioned it before. PIAA regulations prohibit us from going any further than this particular round, at least in this format. So we, again, apologize for that, but appreciate everybody being with us all year long. It's been nothing but a pleasure. And if you see one of us going down the streets, please say hello. We'd love to meet you in person.
Just don't sneak up behind me. Don't scare me, because I'm easily frightened. So just take it easy on me, you know. But I would appreciate it.
Approach Rob from the front, please. But, Rob, I just want to say again, thank you. It's a real pleasure to do this with you, game after game, year after year. I hope that next year is more of the same.
Heck yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's an honor to do it with you. Call you a friend, call you a co-host here.
It's a good time. Thank you, as always, for giving me the chance to come into the booth and stay connected with this team and provide your color commentary, whatever kind of color that comes through as, and we have fun. We have some fun. So it's a great time, my friend, and always appreciate the opportunity to do this. So
we do have fun. Hopefully it comes through on the broadcast. And for one last time, for Rob Stott, I'm Bob Long, giving a shout out to Mara Long behind the camera there as well. Thanks to her for her help. Tyler Kern's done this with us this year. Colin O'Hara's done camera. We've had Alex Kristowski a few times. It's been a really good team. And wouldn't have done it without any one of you guys. Really enjoyed the time. Thanks to you, the listeners for LaSalle, the listeners across Philadelphia Catholic League, across the world that have been with us over the course of this year. We'll send you adieu one last time from Plymouth White Marsh High School. LaSalle, a winner, 49-22, on to the District 12 semifinal next week against the winner of Roman Catholic and St. Joseph's Prep. Best of luck to the Explorers. We'll be following along, and we'll talk to everybody soon. Good night.